Alrighty, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and step on our camera. Hello there, everyone. My name is Tina. I'm a part of the education team here at Aquarium of the Pacific. Thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful Aquarium Online Academy. However, I am not alone in our studio today. I have several friends with me behind the camera. They're doing some magic that you're going to see on a screen right over here. I have my very good friend Jen, who's going to be controlling all of the beautiful pictures that you see. We also have our good friend Jeanette and Isabella here as well with us. They are also part of our education team. During our AOA today, I would love to encourage you to please interact with us, talk to us, ask us questions, share with us some of the observations that you're making as well. You can do that two ways. One of them being texting us at this phone number right over here, 562-286-1838. Feel free to text us at any time. Jen is actually monitoring that line, so please ask us questions. Let us know where you're from, what your favorite animal is, or what your observations are. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. However, if you are not watching us live right this very second at Wednesday, January 15th at 3 p.m., if you're watching at another point in time and space, please feel free to still ask us questions and share your thoughts and opinions with us at live@lbaop.org. That email is monitored by one of our staff members, and we would love, again, to hear from you and hear some of your questions and give you those answers. So, my friends, again, welcome to our AOA today, our Aquarium Online Academy. We're going to be talking about animals that have no bones in their body. But before we get into all of the fun stuff, I want us to do a little bit of a warm-up. I'm not talking about exercise. I would love for us to warm up our brains a little bit, warm up our scientist brains. And the way to do that is to take some notes, mental notes, some observations of our environment and what we're looking at. Specifically, what I have on the screen behind me over here. This is actually one of the habitats that we have here at the aquarium. These are our Pacific sea nettles. They are absolutely gorgeous. Some of my favorite animals that we have here at the aquarium. What I would love for you all to do right now with me is to take a minute, absorb what you're seeing right now, and make some notes in your brain, whether it be shapes, colors, how these animals are moving around, anything that you notice. I'm going to step off screen, and I want you just to take a minute right now, warm up that scientist brain, make those observations. If you would like, again, I highly encourage you, text us those observations. Let us know what you're seeing. Again, that number is going to be staying on the screen for a good portion of our program today. It is 562-286-1838. Let us know what you're seeing. If you have any questions, I can go ahead and get started with some of the observations that I am noticing. The first thing I see is that these animals, these jellies, the habitat that they're in is a shape of a circle. Very, very good. So this circular habitat, believe it or not, it is circle for a reason. Now our jellies, you also notice, I'll do this one over here, the top of them are the same shape. They are also a circle, right? You might notice a couple of them bumping into each other, a couple of them going in again, that rotation, that circular rotation. Within this habitat, we have a specially built system that makes sure that our jellies are always moving around. So this habitat is pumping in water. The water is coming out this way, other direction. You might see those little holes on the ground over there on the bottom of the habitat. And that way their jellies can go out, up, and around. I know that might not make much sense with where, where my arm is on the screen over here. But that's because our jellies can't really choose where they go. They go wherever the ocean takes them. Pretty good motto for life, right? But one of the other things that I'm noticing are the colors of our jellies too. What colors are you seeing? You might see a couple of different colors. I see one of my favorite colors actually. Yes, orange. I love orange. I'm also seeing maybe a little bit of yellow. Some of these stinging cells over here that we'll talk about, these tentacles, maybe a little bit of a pink in color, maybe even red. I'm also noticing this kind of movement. Is there anything that we might see in our daily lives that kind of represents that movement? I know we don't get much rain here in Southern California, but where I'm from, we get a lot of rain. And I know to me, that looks like an opening and closing of an umbrella. I always love to tell my friends that our jellies are like the undersea umbrellas. Now they move their bell, which is that dome shape of their body, in and out to help them swim backwards, almost. So if we were to think of this like our body, the top of our noggin would almost be like their bell, right over here. So they move in the direction of where their bell goes, but also with where the ocean takes them. Now, all of these wonderful, gorgeous stinging cells over here, there are two different shapes, or two different kinds of those stinging cells. I would love to see if we have maybe a closer picture of those two different appendages. Ah, beautiful. So we see some in the middle over here that are kind of like a ribbon almost, or very ruffly. And then we see some that are more like strings. These two appendages serve two different purposes. The ones that look like strings over here are the part of the jelly that will sting. This is what helps our jelly catch their food. Now, if we think of us as humans, what do we typically use to eat our food? We might use some utensils, and then we move our food into our mouth. And our jellies do a very similar thing, except they don't really have mouths like us, correct? What they will do is use these beautiful stinging cells, these beautiful, beautiful tentacles, sting their food, and then grab it with the ribbons. These ribbons are called oral arms. That is the, let's use the term like a transport, or like a bus almost, to get their food into their bell so that they can digest their food. Now again, we talked about these animals not having any bones, right? We're talking only about the animals that are very wiggly and squiggly today. This animal as well, what are some other things that we might notice that are different from our bodies? So if we look at ourselves, look at the things that we have on our bodies to help us live every single day, what are some things that we have that our jellies might not have? So I talked about our mouth. What are our other senses that we use that our jellies might not have? Or at least might not be visible to us right now? I know one thing that I'm doing right now, or at least I'm trying to do, is take deep breaths and breathe, right? Everyone take a deep breath with me. Inhale and exhale. What do we use to help us breathe? Besides our mouth sometimes, we also use our nose, right? We also use our nose to smell. Do you see a nose on this creature over here, on this animal? I don't really see a nose on this animal either. Another thing that I'm doing right now is that I'm making observations with my eyeballs. Very good, with my eyes. Do we see an eyeball anywhere on this creature? No, maybe not. I don't really see any eyeballs on this creature, but that doesn't mean that they can't still sense where they are in the, we'll say, the water column. So how deep the water is. When you're closer to the surface of the water, it's going to be a lot brighter because you're much closer to the sun. But if you're really, really deep in the ocean, do you think the sun's going to reach that deep? Maybe not. So it might be a little bit darker, right? In that case, they might be able to tell the light in the dark, but they don't have eyes like us. Now, another really interesting fact about our jellies that I absolutely love is that they don't necessarily have a brain like us either. They have the ability to have some sort of sense in their body, but I love to call them the aliens of the ocean because they also don't have a heart like us either. They quite literally just exist. Now, I'm wondering if we have any other excellent jelly pictures. Jellies are one of my favorite animals that we have here at the aquarium. This is another gorgeous picture of even longer stinging cells. Now, my friends, there are so many different kinds of jellies. There are so many different shapes, colors, sizes, anything in the world, you name it. Jellies are incredibly interesting. Now, the longest species of jelly, or the biggest species of jelly, is the lion's mane jelly. Their stinging cells, this part of their body, anyone want to guess how long they can be? They can be about 100 feet long. Just for reference, that is almost bigger, if not it is bigger, than a blue whale, which is the largest mammal on our planet. Very long creatures, right? But there are some jellies, like our moon jellies, that have teeny tiny stinging cells almost as big as our eyelashes. Here is an excellent picture of our moon jellies. Did you know that here at the aquarium we are actually able to have our guests interact with our moon jellies? We interact with them using our gentle 2-finger touch, and we're able to touch the top of their bell. Because again, the top of their bell over here is mainly just tissue. Again, there are no bones in there. Their stinging cells are on the bottom of their body. But this over here is tissue and about 90% water, right? I know it might be sad to say, but these animals, especially our moon jellies, exist to be a wonderful food source to other animals like our mola mola, our really big ocean sunfish, and even some of our favorite animals, our sea turtles, love to eat our jellies. It's a wonderful source of fresh water for these animals. Now, our moon jellies, as I said before, are teeny, teeny, tiny stinging cells, so even if you were to brush up against them, you almost wouldn't feel a thing. Now, you also see in the background of this picture, we are able utilize our email over here, live@lbaop.org. That way we can better answer your questions in not real time, in past time. But again, thank you all so much for joining me, my friends. This was our last AOA for the day. We hope to see you soon. Please stay safe and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, everyone.